the Guy Jeans podcast.
Hello everyone! Welcome to the Fly Fishing Report for the week of May 22nd, 2023. We wanted to tell you guys that this fishing report will soon be on its own podcast channel, the Kern River Fly Shop Podcast. You can still listen on Spotify, Waypoint TV, and on Apple and Google Podcasts. It will be a podcast dedicated only to fishing in the Kern River Valley, Bakersfield, the California Surf, Owens River, and Crowley Lake. We will report on everything that we guide and fish on a regular basis. This podcast will remain the Guy Jeans podcast and will stay the same, and Guy will keep interviewing folks he finds interesting and informative in whatever they do, and hopefully you will too. For now, this will be the last fishing report on this channel, and it will be about 2 weeks or so before that channel is up and running and goes live. Thank you for listening to this podcast and helping it grow and become successful. When you get a chance, please make sure to follow the Guy Jeans podcast on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Following the podcast helps it grow, and it's much appreciated. If you have any questions, please email guyjeanspodcast@gmail.com.
Hey, you guys, welcome to the podcast. Oh my gosh, in all these years I've been guiding, which is over 20 years, I've never seen so much water. It's crazy. Almost all the rivers in the Sierra are blown out. The upper Kern is currently at over 8,000 CFS and climbing close to 10,000. It's between 8,000 and 10,000 right now in different areas of the upper Kern. So to kind of give you guys the idea of, like, you know, when we're fishing it normally, it's between 300 and 700, and that's when it's pretty safe to wade and walk it and that sort of thing. When we're floating it, doing float fish trips and that sort of thing, we don't float anything over 1,200 just to keep it safe. But this is a record year. I think that we're probably going to see the river come down probably at the end of July and to fishable levels. It'll start peaking around the end of June and then start coming down in July, which will make it real nice for us all through the fall. So we're really looking forward to that. So kind of give you guys some stats as well. In 2019, the river peaked at 8,500, and that was the peak. This year, 2023, they're thinking that it's going to peak around 15,000. That's just our peak, and that's pretty crazy. And then in 2020, we peaked out at 2,000, which was a pretty low year. 2021, we peaked out around 500, which was a horrible year for water. And then in 2022, last year, we peaked out at 700. So you can see we were in a huge drought basically for the last 4 years or so. And, you know, we wanted water. Now we got too much. So we're kind of forced to fish other areas. I'm going to kind of go down the list. So basically the upper Kern is going to be unfishable probably through June into July, unfortunately. Just big water right now. And then the Southfork of the Kern, you know, coming in on the other side of Lake Isabella, it's flowing at 3,000 CFS, which is big water over there. So coming in from the 14 freeway to get onto the 178, if you guys try to go on that road, the 178, and then get on Sierra Way to turn to go around to go to Kernville, that bridge is blown out and the road is closed there. So you got to go all the way to Lake Isabella and go all the way around to get into Kernville now. And we're kind of up in the air when that bridge is going to be fixed. Another unfishable area is the lower Kern right now. They're releasing 7,334 cubic feet per second. And if you guys have never seen that in the lower Kern, it's unbelievable. It's big, giant water down there. Super unsafe to get in. When you're coming up the canyon from Bakersfield, you can see it. It's just huge rapids, and they're expected to be releasing more. From what I've heard from friends, is that we might get a spill over the Lake Isabella spillway. We have so much water coming in. So they're releasing 7,000, but we've got close to almost 10,000 coming in. And so the lake is filling up pretty quick. The flats are where we're fishing for carp. We just had the Carp Fest this weekend, and the fishing wasn't all that great for the carp. We had some dirty water from the river coming in, making it muddy, and debris and all kinds of stuff in the water, so it made it tough on all the competitors. There was some fish that were caught, and a lot of people had a good time, but the fishing wasn't that great. I think first place, 4 fish were caught, second place, 3 fish, and third place, 2 fish, just to give you an idea. Biggest fish caught was a 25-incher, and that was pretty awesome to see. That's a pretty big fish. But Lake Isabella is the place to be. It's going to be that way for a while, so we're doing guided trips for bass. We have boats to float on. We're also fishing for catfish, fly fishing for catfish, fly fishing for carp and bass. And then they also stocked a whole bunch of trout in Lake Isabella as well. So people are catching a bunch of trout on Lake Isabella. But guess what? They put these giant fish in Lake Isabella, and when the river comes down and you got that cold water coming in from the upper Kern River, a lot of those big fish start moving into the upper Kern when the river starts coming down. And it can be kind of fun when those fish move into Kernville and they're up and down the river in that 20-mile section. So that's kind of fun. Lake Isabella's capacity is 555 acre feet, and we are at 462 acre feet, 368,462 acre feet. So it's getting more and more full. If you guys have never seen Lake Isabella full, it's pretty awesome. It's the water is almost all the way up to the airport landing strip, and that's a lot of water when it starts getting up that way. I haven't seen it that way since 2005, I think it is. And we're actually fishing the mouth of the river almost all the way up by the golf course, which is crazy to think. The lower Owens River, I'm switching over gears to the Owens River Valley, is blown out as well. It's by Big Pine, it's 1,159 cubic feet per second, and near Bishop it's 754. So it's pretty big water for the Owens River, so not recommended fishing there. We are guiding again at Lake Crowley, and we are back doing trips on there. So if you want to book a trip with Rob Bueller up on Lake Crowley, it's a great experience. Catch big trout off his boat. It's pretty amazing. So you got to give that a try. So right now the options are Lake Crowley and Lake Isabella for us. And if you guys are interested in doing that, give us a call, 760-812-7779. That's at the fly shop. Or you can email us as well at the Kern River Fly Shop. Also, we are doing fly fishing in the surf trips as well. Check that out. And of course, we're doing all the fly fishing school stuff, beginner clinics. We do have access to a private pond that has really nice bass and crappie. So we are available to guide you on that private pond as well. So make sure to give us a call if you want to do that. And check out the fly fishing in the surf. Right now, the Corbina are starting to move in, and that is the time to get out there and fly fish in the surf. A lot of fun. So there you have it, the Kern River Fly Fishing Report. I hope you guys enjoy. And remember, we're going to be doing this fly fishing report on its own channel, the Kern River Fly Shop podcast fishing report on its own channel in about 2 weeks or so. So make sure to check that out. And again, you guys, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
It's a Guy Jeans podcast.